Hello. How are we tonight? Sorry, I'm just a little bit slow at turning the camera on. I believe we are live on Instagram, but I can't see. I think on Instagram I will be portrait, so I was trying to see if I could see myself on my Instagram account so that I could try and keep it somewhat accurate for the people on there. But at the minute we don't have anyone on Instagram, so it's not the end of the world. I'm just trying to deal with technology and life. Life is fun at the minute. Hi Alison, hello Dominique, hi Sheila, hi Sue, hi Pauline, hi Alison, hi Sharon, hello Facebook user. I'm so sorry it's still doing that. Okay, so yeah, I have found, because I've literally been running around my craft room thinking, what on earth am I going to do? I'm so sorry, my daughter is really not well at all. So she's still at home after 6 weeks. I'm now trying to do a bit of homeschooling with her as well. Hello Caroline, you got your dragons, yay! Yeah, so I am barely working. I am so far behind myself. It is chronic. And now my husband's come home and he's got laryngitis as well. So I'm hoping that I avoid whatever they've both got. And I'm sorry that I'm just not quite myself at the minute. Anyway, as I was wandering around my craft room, desperately wondering what on earth am I going to do, I came across a whole load of demos that I had prepped for telly. So I've got about 4 here that were demos that were meant to be done whilst I was on Create and Craft. And I thought, oh, that'll do. So we'll make 4 cards together. We'll have a little bit of, see if I can remember what I'd planned to do with them. But basically I didn't use them because I'd run out of time and I filed them. And I thought, oh, that will do. Hi Pauline, hi Sheila. So yes, that will do. There's still nobody on Instagram, so I can't ask if they're seeing it okay. It says it's streaming, but who knows? Technology. It's wonderful while it works. Right, so let's swizz you around, stop faffing, and get crafting. Because that's actually why you're all here, not to listen to my woes. So let's do that then, okay? Oh, that was supposed to be spontaneous, so you didn't see that horrible glare on my face. Hey ho. Hey ho. One day I'll get the switcheroony right. Right. So let's start with, oh, let's turn that light down a little bit. It's a bit too bright. I really need to change my mat. Hi Rianne. It's freezing here too. There's snow on the ground outside. Right, so I am trying to keep this as central just in case anyone does join us on Instagram and they wonder what on earth. You know, when it's like what we see gets cut down to about this. You lit up lovely. Oh, I'm not sure. Thank you, Carol, but no, I don't think so. You can't see. All right, okay, yeah, no. Well, according to my streaming details here, it says I'm live on Instagram, but then when I had a look I couldn't see it either, so who knows, quite frankly. I don't understand technology. My husband is not very well, so I'm not going to pester him any further than I already have. Yeah, let's craft. Do you know what, it's been that sort of, hi Julie, it's been that sort of week, 6 weeks, but I'm just tired, and let's just play. Let's just have a relaxing time in our craft rooms and play together. Because quite frankly, I need the de-stress that crafting brings. Does anyone else do that? It's just like, you're just like, do you know what? I just need to sit, relax, play, colour, and let it all just disappear. I'm actually going to bring my hybrid ink down because I don't really, is this, let's get you closer. Right, I don't really know what's occurring because I can't actually remember what I was meant to be demoing with these things. I've got my little list. So when I go on Create and Craft, Oh, I don't have a list for this one. So when I go on Create and Craft, I have my demos parcelled up and then I have a list of what I need. So I've taken all the bits that I need from my list and who knows what we are going to be doing. Yes, agree crafting just to chill out. I definitely need to chill out. Oh my word. Yes. So Kezia is really not well. So we were up at hospital last week getting x-rays. Her heart rate is raised. Her peak flow is low. Yeah, don't really know what's wrong with her. I think they said that she's got a crackle in her lower chest, so it's sort of beyond the chest infection stage now. So they've not said anything, but from what I'm aware of, like friends and things, it could be like pneumonia or something like that, but we've not actually had a diagnosis of that. But then I was saying to the doctor about like, getting her back to school, and he went, she's not going back to school. So I was like, oh great. I mean, she isn't well enough to go to school, quite frankly. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've not worked properly for 6 weeks. Right, so my plan with this is to show you that you can turn any stamp into a silhouette. So we're going to make a card that we're going to create a silhouette, but we're going to do it through stamps and dies and paper. So this is going to be the feature image, and obviously right now it's a stamp. But you do not need to buy these silhouette stamps that you get. I mean, I think they're beautiful. And I love them. And I love the look of a silhouette. I think it's really impactful. And it really stands out on your card. But in all honesty, if you buy a silhouette stamp, yes, there's various techniques that you can do. You could do like ombre stamping and things like that. I do get that, and using perfect pearls and things like that. But you're also fairly limited in what you can actually do with your stamps, because you've got a silhouette, that's it. Whereas if you've got a normal stamp and just colour it in black, you've still got all the freedom of doing all the other things that you do with it, and you can have a silhouette as well. So I think it's a little bit like having your cake and eating it, quite frankly. So because I have prepped these for telly, I have each stage ready. So any stage when you're getting a bit bored of like, Julia, we've seen enough of you sitting colouring in something black, let me know, because I already have one prepped. So there's nothing, I'm not doing anything overly interesting, as you can see. It's very squeaky that, isn't it? Actually, we could probably, let's do this. Probably see better from here. The screen is very bright, okay? Oop. Let's see if that helps. I'll go back to that angle so you can see. Is that better? I'm actually just going to put you on this angle though, because you can see what I'm doing better. Right, that is a very squeaky pen. So I'm not thinking about shades and tones or anything like that. Can anyone else hear that squeak, or is it just me? Alternatively, what you could do, so there are a number of ways you could approach this. You can colour it in black, as I am doing here. You could stamp it on black card and fussy cut it out. There are a number of ways that you could achieve this result. Sorry, there we go. Let's actually have you in shot. That would make far more sense. Might actually just take the heart cheek off. I think it would, the silhouette would make more sense without the heart cheek. The heart cheek works whilst it is a character. That means I am going to have to butcher the one that I've already got prepped, but that's alright, we can do that. You didn't get yours this year, they missed. Oh dear, that's not good. Your lungs are damaged due to COVID. Oh, yuck. Sorry to hear that. No, so much going round at the minute. Everyone seems to be really not well, and stuff seems to be like lasting for ages and ages. Not good. We all just need the winter to be over now, don't we? Need the winter to be over. We need lighter nights. We need it to be a little bit warmer. I'm a little bit done with the dark and the cold now. It's like, yep, had enough of that now, thanks. Okay. So I'm just colouring that in there. So now we have created a silhouette using a normal stamp, which I think is just a little bit different way to use your stamps. So I have pre-done some of these. This is one that I have coloured. Oh look, see, I did the same thing. I chopped the heart off that one too. So this is one that I've done the same way, I can tell, because from the back I've coloured it in. This one I have done on black card, but stamped using the Hero Arts white ink pad. So it means we can have a look at both the different looks. We can create it with either look. Yeah, definitely done with the dark. Thank you, Alison. Glad you find it. It looks really cute. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, we've got this paper here, which is from our Toadstool Tots paper pack, and it's already got the silhouette on it, which looks pretty cool. So we have that, and this paper pack's in the sale as well. It's still in the clearance section. Okay, so I am going to, this is, I think this is from the Forest Floor die set. And then because I want to sort of layer this, I'm going to stick it down before I stick it onto there, because I kind of roughly want to see. So we've kind of gone from it like that to like that. So we're creating a bit of a layered silhouette effect. Yes, Sheila and Alison, hope you're feeling better soon. So let me have a little look at what we've got here. I have got a finished card using this deer, just the plain black one. So in this card I'm going to use this one just so that we can get a comparison side by side and see which we prefer. So I'm roughly going to just stick that about there. We want this in the centre, we want the deer in the centre of the card. Like so. I'm just roughly getting, yeah, so let's get that one stuck down. Right, we'll pop that about there. Oh, thank you. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a bead of glue along here. I love it. It just looks like he's like floating in the air right now. This is why tucking and things is good. So I'm just going to put, because basically I still want to be able to tuck behind this grass if I need to. So I'm just, for the moment, gluing it right at the bottom, so I still have the space to tuck around if needed. Right, let's get the scissors out and neaten this off. It's quite good, this actually. I can go at a much slower pace. If this had been a TV demo, I'd have finished it by now. Because it'd be like, here's this bit, here's this bit, here's this bit. You need to change my mat. Look at that, that's shocking. That was there last week as well. But as I say, I'm literally not getting much done at all. It's shocking. I'm so far behind myself. I had all these grand plans of everything that I was going to do on social media and how I was going to be so much more on top of it all at the beginning of this year. And I'm also having to homeschool. That's fun. Homeschooling has always been a bad idea in our house. And I'm trying to encourage her to do a bit of schoolwork, which is not feeling well either. Hi Tina, lovely to have you. Don't worry. You can turn up whatever time you want, my lovely. Right, let's neaten that up. So now we have this. Okay, so in the Forest Friends, this die set, we have more mushrooms, which is cool. So we can build up the mushrooms that we've got on the paper. We can expand that idea a little bit. So I'm just going to, let's bring that up there. It sounds terrible, but my husband, it looks like he's got laryngitis as well, which is a shame. But I'm also kind of like, right, if I don't catch anything now and he's at home for a few days, it means he can stay at the house and watch her, and I might actually get some work done this week. Is that terrible? I'm at the stage though, I've really got cabin fever and I'm a bit done being a nurse. Like, oh, it's terrible. What a bad mother. Right, we'll create a bit of interest at the top because it's all quite bottom heavy at the minute. So let's just bring this over here. Thank you, Sheila. I shouldn't laugh. The poor thing's really not well at all. Oh dear. Right. And then I'm just gonna, I should have some more flowers by the looks of it. Yeah. Such a fun idea and a new lease of life for a lot of stamps. Yeah, loads of stamps would work as a silhouette. So go through your stamps. So this is I love seeing what people take from the lives and then put into their own crafting. So I think the lovely Susan, she saw the Dawn and Julia Create that we did, where we coloured in and we only used one marker, and then she did her version of it. And I've seen some lovely watercolour things go on after last week. So yeah, maybe we should next week throughout the week. I know, do you know what? The dragons are just, because technically I'm not mentioning them on social media just yet. They're sort of exclusive to readers of the newsletter only. But we bought loads more this time because last time the mermaids sold out in less than 24 hours. So I bought loads more this time. But still, we are honestly down to single figures of each of them. So if they can manage to hang on another week, I would be able to play with them next week. And I really want to play with them. I have so many ideas. So if they can just about survive till next Monday, that's what we'll be doing next Monday. That's too high. I don't like that because it's just too boxy. This needs to be lower down now. So I'm just going to chop that. I don't like the composition of that. Let's bring that further down. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Nope. I think I'm all right. Let's have this here. Yeah. Put that bit there. Okie dokie. So we are pretty much done with this now. Yeah. So what I have done is I have stamped, so the same with on black card, I've used the Hero Arts white and I have stamped that out on white on the card just so that it would stand out, and we can put that about there. Oh, thank you, Carol. Yep, there will be inspiration. As I say, hopefully we'll be using them live next week. And I know that some of the girls in the DT team have got some of their DT shares are going to be the dragons. but they just have to wait till Wednesday before they can share any of them. So yes, the inspiration will be coming. Now, just to add a little bit more extra detail to this, I'm going to grab a sparkle pen and I'm going to grab some gems. Oh, just throwing stuff about here. Okay, so I'm not going to sparkle everything. We'll just sparkle some bits and pieces. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to these mushrooms. And let's add some sparkle to the flowers. Just little touches. I love the silhouette look. I really do. Something I don't do nearly enough. It's one of the things I want to do with the dragons actually, is to stamp on black and make it look really mythical. Okay, so we've got a bit there, and then I'm just going to take some gems. Oops, she says. That one's not wanting to play ball. Come on. Take some gems and just stick into some of the flowers. Oops. Okay. And then let's put some of them. I'm saying let's, I'm actually following a card that's right beside me. This is exactly what I do on TV because I don't trust my brain when I'm under that sort of pressure. I have a completed one beside me. It also means when they start going, and you've only got so many minutes left and you've only got this amount, I'm like, it's fine, because if worse comes to worse, I can just pull that one that's over there in. So it saves me having to panic. Right. And then I'll actually be able to show you the difference, and you can just tell me which one you think you prefer. One with the little bit of white detail or the one that's completely black. So let's get this stuck onto the card. You have a cross stitch of a dragon that you've never managed to finish. Do you know I've got a cross stitch that I started when I was pregnant with Kezia, Disney Princess Castle with all the Disney princesses in it. And I've still not even done quarter of it, and she's about to turn 12 in about 2 months. I need to stick that down better. You see that flop forward, but I'll do that later. You don't need to see me do that. Right, let's stick this now onto the card. Like so. And then we will grab our pen. And I'm just going to draw in a doodly border on the white bits there. Just because I like to do that, it helps to frame it. I'll just stick that to my table. Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking 25 minutes. We're at 8:25. Could you imagine if I took 25 minutes for a demo on telly? It's great. I much prefer this slower pace. I'll have to do this every so often, all the spare ones, and then we just have a wee crafting session. It's going to be a really random mix as well, because I don't end up with many, because I'm a bit fast on demos. I quite often go through all of them. So it's very rare to have leftover ones. There we go. So that is the one we've done with the white stamping, and there is the original that I was working from. So that's it with the detail, and that's it with just the black. So I don't know which one you prefer. I'd be interested to know. See, this one I'm kind of drawn to because it's traditionally very silhouette. The details are cute, but I think probably this one still. But I'd be interested to know what you think. So that is that one there. It's also really weird with the lighting. That one looks more green than there, but it's the exact same sheet of paper. It's just the way the light is cast. Right, let's pull out another one. Right. Whilst you're deciding, Alison likes the one with the white details, so does Sheila. this over here. Sorry about the rustling near the microphone. So that we can do this together. Right. So. Oh man, I forgot how prepared I am when I do these things. It's amazing. Right. Piece of card. And what I have done with this one is I have used, let's see if we can find it. You can see how prepared I was. What's everyone's favourite mythical creature? Oh, that's a hard one. Good question. I like it, Sue. Hello, Christine. How are you? You like the original one, Pauline. You like the Total Silhouette, Julie. Oh, we're mixed. Sorry, there is method. I am looking for my treetop stencil. Because, as we've said, I'm sort of crafting on the hoof here. And although I managed to pull out, this is the one I want. Although I managed to pull out, unicorn. Oh, I don't know. They're all amazing. Although I'd managed to pull out certain bits and pieces, I hadn't pulled out everything. Right, I also need these. Oh, I just want to show you something. I was thinking of turning this into a video. But have you ever wondered why I spray? Let's discuss this whilst I try and discreetly slide across the room and get my Inktense pencils. Okay, so your paints are water reactive. Oh. So if you get a wet paintbrush, okay, and do this. Can you see that there? That's a bit of colour, okay. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to spray the paints with water and just put them to the side. Because I don't know if you've ever seen artists or people spray their paints before and wondered why. I'm just about to show you. Right, so whilst we're waiting for that just to mature, I am going to grab a watercolour pencil. The reason being, if you're going to sketch and then put watercolour in it, if you use a HB pencil, you quite often see the line. Whereas if you sketch using, if you're going to sketch with a pencil, you're sort of best doing a, what do you call it? Like a very pale peach or something if you're not going to do this technique. But the other thing I would suggest is use a pencil that is a watercolour pencil, because then the lines will blend because it's watercolour, so it's going to blend. I'm just trying to do this dark enough that you can actually see what's occurring. Right, so I've sketched that. Sorry, I'll hold it up. It is light, I appreciate that, but that is because it's a very light line. I don't think it's to do with my lighting. We've already turned the lighting down. Right, let's bring back this paint. And let's just do this. So it's been sat there for a little minute. I just want to show you something. Can we see the difference in colour? So that is why we spray our paints first and give them a little bit of a minute. We give the pigment much more time to activate and do its thing than if we just put a wet brush into the paint. We get a very watered down look if we just use the paint without spraying it first. So anyway, besides the point. I am now going to put some paint into this scribbled thing. So this was the treetop thing, and basically I'm going to make it look like a random paint splatter-y type thing. So I'm going to put some different colours in. I'm almost doing like a galaxy splatter. Works in my head. Yeah, it's much thicker, the paint's thicker, and the pigment is much deeper. So it's definitely worth just, if you're going to be using your watercolours, give them a wee spray, give them a minute to do their thing, to activate. I'm so gutted that this is the Jane Davenport and it's this pink is done. I've noticed that she's brought out new ones called Utopia, and I've been Googling, so if anyone has seen them, I've been Googling everywhere to try and see if they're anywhere in the UK. I love the look of them so much that I think I'm almost prepared to get them from Australia and pay the customs, because they look amazing, and I think she has more than one of this pink in it, which I love. I'm so gutted that pink is gone. That's been my favourite pink with that I've ever had. You've been playing with your watercolours today in first time. Good. We're going to be doing a lot more playing with watercolours this year, so we can all do it together. I'm glad you've had a play. Did you enjoy playing? So hopefully that's just sort of giving you a little bit of extra information. So what we do is, once that has dried, and obviously because I did this for TV, we were like, da-da-da! We have one ready. If only I could be like this every week. You love watercolours. I do too. I've always loved them. I can tell I've always loved them because I have so many of them. It's ridiculous. Right, so I've just grabbed my white pen, but I think actually what I need next is a different stamp set. We're going to play with this stamp set here, Serenity. Oh yes, Sue, there's some lovely ones available. Kuretake, I do like the Kuretake. As I say, you should see my box. I'll show you my box of watercolours. This is like confession time, this. Right, this is my box of watercolours. I've got all of those. And then I've got all of these. And now I'm looking at the Jane Davenport Utopia. It's an addiction. It's shocking. Right. Let's do what I'm actually meant to be doing. Let's craft. What's the best for a newbie to use? We were discussing this last week, and I reckon if you go for some mid price range, Sharon, if you're still on, because I know that you're in a completely different time zone, she'll give you some recommendations. I know quite a few of us have bought these, the Kuretake. So this is the original. I think it's 48 or something. I've had these for years. They're very well loved. The reason I like these ones is they are a cross between a watercolour and a gouache. And these are the Art Nouveau. And then these are another little set that I bought. So they are very highly pigmented. So that you can almost get an opaque look. The advantage of that, which I will be going on to into on a YouTube video at some point, the advantage of that is that if with traditional watercolours you have to work light to dark, and if that's not the way you're used to working, which I'm not, because I'm used to using my alcohol markers and I do them dark to light, it can feel like really strange, and it can feel I don't know, you can maybe struggle colouring because you're not seeing the colours the same way you're used to. You're getting used to doing it the opposite way round. Whereas if you use a gouache or those Kuretake, you do have the ability to layer on top and build up dark to light if you want. So that is quite handy. But I wouldn't go too cheap, because I think if you go really cheap, you end up maybe not getting the results that you want, and then thinking that it's your fault, and it's not your fault. It's just the product. You need to make sure that you've got proper watercolor paper, and I would say a mid-range. I wouldn't go out and go start buying the most expensive watercolors, but I don't think you need those. But like a good mid-range ones. So yeah, Kuretake. You've got 2 Jane Davenport, 3 Kuretake. The stamps by me, I've not tried those. I've got Ecoline pens and I've got Zig pens as well. The Derwent watercolour pencils, yes, I have those too. Right, I want this swing to go all the way to the top of the page, so I'm just inking it up and I am just going to switch it over like so. Okay, and stamp that like so. So now I've managed to make a really long swing. And then what, you're still here, you just started work. Mealing paints to start with are also very good. I'm not going to colour all of this in because I do have a card at the next stage which we can move on to. So let's just, I'm just going to come in and then we can add a little bit of colour like so. Let's get you, are we at the closest, yeah. And then because it's pencils, we can get that to work over. I'm just going to show that we can get it to work over the paint as well. Okay. And then just some little leaves. I say I don't want to be rummaging too long looking for pencils. Let's get a second tone of brown in there just to make our swing a little bit more interesting. I like to work with 3 colour tones. They're maybe not the ones that I would naturally put together. Just sort of going with whatever's coming to hand, quite frankly. Right, we'll colour a couple of flowers. So basically we just have a lovely relaxed time and colour all of that in. And then the other thing that I would do at this stage as well as colouring it all in is I just want to add a few dots onto this so that it becomes a little, as I said, what I was going for here was a sort of galaxy cloud splodge thing. So this is the treetop stencil, but we've just shown that we can do sort of paint splatters with that stencil and we can do splodges. So it is quite a wee versatile stencil. Okay, so we just do that, and then once that's all coloured, we have something like this. You can tell that the splodge effect looks different every time, but that's okay. It just makes them all unique. Oh, thank you. You have them all. It is an addiction. Yeah, it is definitely addiction. Right. The other thing I have done is I have got a few bits and pieces. Let's see if I can remember what all this is from. So this is from the holiday collection. We've got the girl here taking the camera. And then some of these florals are from that collection and some of these florals are from the Textured World. And the Textured World stamps, we still have a couple of them left and they are in the clearance section. So what I'm going to do before I start building this up, because I can see that we're going to have sections that overlap. Oh, yeah, yep, before I do that, sorry, I've just spied something else that I have done before I've got to that stage, so we'll just do that now. Let me just grab that one there. Okay, and let's get a blue and a brush. Okay. So I'm just going to come around the edges of this. It just knocks away the starkness of it all and makes the suggestion of a sky work that tiny bit better. So we'll do that first and then we'll build up a little bit of a design. Difference, just because it's against white there, that just tiny bit of blue makes such a big difference to the overall look of it. So we will grab a black pen and just edge this. Like so. And then let me get, where did my, honestly, I start out every Monday with my desk completely clear and everything in its place. And then, how long have I been crafting? 40 minutes. I can't find a thing. Everything's everywhere. It's ridiculous. Right, let's get a little line drawn around here because it's me and I love a doodly border on everything. Which paper are you using? I'm not sure, quite frankly. I would normally use a watercolour paper or a Dolly Dimples. What would be perfect for this would be the Dolly Dimples mixed media card because you've got the watercolour and the pencils. It'll take both of these. To be honest, I'm not going to lie, this looks like a piece of paper that was the right size that I needed that I've taken from my scrap drawer, and it seems a little bit smooth for what I would normally use. But I would recommend a Dolly Dimples mixed media card for something like this, which you're layering things up on. Right, I'm going to grab some of these sort of green bushy cloud type things and just build this up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that down and then I'm going to cut round, and then the bits that are left over I can sort of keep using. This is my favourite way to use these little bits, is to use the tiny bits as you sort of cut them off, because if these go in your bit box, the chances of you picking them up and using them again are quite remote. And it also means you're kind of making the stamp your own. It's sort of becoming a different shape, and yeah, it just becomes a bit more you because you're cutting into it and changing the overall look. So I've got that. I realise this looks very random at the minute, but bear with, it will make sense. I'm going to do the same up here. I'm going to stick that down. And then bring that one around to about there. Okay. So what do we have? Let's get the girl down. So I was going to put her about there. I kind of still want to see the cloud on. It's like, yeah, proper, a bit closer to the swing. I just want to see the cloud coming out the other side of her head. Don't ask me why, but that is what I want to see. Okay. Right, now she looks like she's floating, so we have to start to do things to deal with that. So I'm just going to build up the detail in this corner. Okay. Like so. Sorry, I'm just, sometimes I kind of get into a little bit of a zone and I stop talking. I kind of forget that you're all sitting watching with me. I'm in the zone. It's obviously doing its job then. Relaxing paper crafting, which was what I was needing to do, so it's all good. Right, hang on, I know I want to make sure that I've still got enough bits for up here, so I'm going to get that sorted first and then continue, because what I don't want is to run out of pieces for down here. Right, so I'll get that down. That there like so. Okay. Now I can continue to sort this out. works. Right. Let's get that there. I've kind of deviated slightly from what's there, so it's throwing me a little bit. We're all good. I'll make it work. As long as I somehow covered our feet, we're good. But we've got a sentiment which will do that, so we're all, yeah, we're all fine. Getting glue everywhere. My word. Right. There we go. Okay, and then we've got a little butterfly which can just sit there. Okay. Oh, I have another flower. How fortuitous. So maybe have that just here. Actually, I'm going to do the half and half thing, so we'll do the same here. We'll just pop that there like so, and then give it a little... You're distracted, you're painting your nails. Technically it's craft. Excellent. What colour are you painting them? I am desperate. Like I had... That's terrible. I'm actually crafting with a broken nail. I normally have really strong nails, and every time I go and get them done, it ends up wrecking my nails. And I had them done last time I was in Peterborough because there was just a lot of stuff in life going on at that time. And I thought, I'll go and get my nails done. It'll cheer me, you know, feel good. And they look lovely, but I kind of knew as soon as the guy was doing it, I was like, this is going to wreck my nails. That was October, and they're still not great, and I'm really hoping they'll grow long enough, because I know this sounds really daft, but I've got this great idea of how I could do my nails for the next time I'm in Peterborough that will match the range that's coming out. So I really want to do it. Right. I'm going to pop that there. So we've got today's moments, and then we've got tomorrow's memories, and we're going to pop that down. Okay. And I'll show you the original because they are slightly different. Today's moments, tomorrow's. So this is a random mix of collections that we've got going on here. Love the sentiment. Thank you. You may do sparkly. Ooh, sparkly sounds lovely. I'm just going to neaten up the bottom. I kind of like the overlap. And I've not got a spare card to mount this on, so that's fine. We'll just put this to the side. And this is, so if I was to mount it, it would look like that. So we have something similar. So it's 10 to 9. Should we try and squeeze? I've got another 2. Should we try and squeeze one more in? I can't say that we'll manage to squeeze all 3, but it means I can save them up for, we can do another session like this in the future. Oh, you're very chatty tonight. I've just had a wee message from the Restream saying that there's been 100 messages in here tonight. So thank you all for joining in and chatting. It's lovely. Right, so that's that one. Are you enjoying this style of live, by the way, where we're just going through various samples and it's all very random? Because as I said, if it is, what I'll do is I'll save up my samples again and do it in the future. But if you're not, then we'll avoid it. Right, let's try and squeeze one more in. I do have 2 here, but it's 10 to 9. And quite frankly, I should probably, yes please, to another card. Okay, I should probably go and check that my child is okay. You're enjoying it, so we can do this idea in future. Right, let's see. Oh, well, you've already seen that it's the pirates. I love these pirate girls. Right, where are my, those are the pirates. I think this will be a fairly quick card to do anyway. I think with this one, I was demonstrating colouring. So I'm not going to do a big, massive colour on this one. But I think what I had planned, according to my notes, look, I'll show you. Where's my notes? So here's my notes here. So I have also need, oh no, that's a different one. There we go. Also need, and then I've got Pasha Stamp, demo colouring, and then I've got skin colours here, and then how to colour white. That was my note. How to colour white. Black pen, white pelt. So that's the notes that I give myself. So let's just stamp out Pasha, because that was the plan. I'm not going to colour loads because we all know it takes me forever to colour. But let's have a little look at colouring white and then we'll put the card together. Right, I'm using the Hero Arts, which is a hybrid, so technically I should still be able to colour with my Copics. But we're about to colour white, so I'm hoping it will withstand. Now, where have I put my sampling? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Julie and Christine. And Sue, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Right, so let's just stamp this out. Give Pasha a white shirt. So the temptation can be just to leave it white, but even white has shades and tones. So can you see, even just by me putting something over it, because I've got the lights up so bright, let's dim the lights. I have the lights really bright because it's better for your viewing. Let's just try and bring this down for sake of, can you see there how different that looks under my pencil? So it's very grey, and you can get like a bit of a bluish tone there as well. So everything, like my skin, everything will have a shade and tone, including your white. So we do need to make sure that we do include different colours. I think I'm going to go for some blue violets. To be honest, you can do this with pale blue, pale violet, grey, pale pink. You can make white look like anything, any colour. To be honest, white is reflective of the colours around it. So this is actually white, but it looks quite yellow in comparison. Like, see over there? You see there? This is white. Obviously that's stained, but can you see over there? That looks really yellow in comparison to over here. It's still the same sheet, but it's just that that is nearer some of the lights that I have. So there's a slight yellow hue to it. So that is because light is reflective. So it's always going to reflect colours that are around it. Excuse me. Okay. Ugh, sneezes. Right, so I've got these different colours here. I'm going to go with the darkest one, and I'm going to add the dark colour to the shadow areas. So she has this ruffle here. Let's go on to this angle here. Right. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze again. Right. She has this ruffle. And so that is on top of the shirt underneath. So that is going to be in shadow. So let's just put this lilac thing in there, because that is going to be in shadow. So that's the basic thing. Trouble is, because we've got, let's take the, I don't know if that's going to make any difference. So you try on the, yeah, actually we're seeing the colour better on this angle. Right, so we've added that just there. Okay, she's also got her arm here, which means this little bit here is also going to be in shadow. So we just colour that line in as well. Okay, there's this band here which is pulling things in, and also the band is on top of the sleeve. So because of that, that's also going to have a shadow, maybe not as dominant as the other one, so we'll just give it a thinner line, and the same on this side over here. Okay, so that's just kind of got the shadows in. Now this, by the ruffle, gives a suggestion of pleats, and there will be shadows within some of those pleats. So I'm just going to flick up in some of those areas, but not all of them. And that's just going to give it a little bit of a shadow. Once we've got those shadows in, she's got a strange fold in her sleeve there. and just here. So I'm going to colour that into the darker colour as well. Once we have got that in, we can then just sort of gradually blend that out. So I'm just going to, in a circular motion, kind of come and take some of those shadows, especially just down where the fold lines. So I've drawn little fold lines in. So you maybe want just a lighter one just there. Bring this in. Like so. And then we will get the lighter colour there and bring that in. So as this stands now, when you're looking at it, you're like, Julia, that doesn't look white. And that is because I've literally just coloured it, and the only colour on this is the shirt. So it doesn't look white, it looks lilac. But once you start to add the other colours, so this has been done the exact same way. And this now looks white, but you barely see the shading. It looks so delicate. So just to prove that, let's just bring in her skin tone. So if we colour in the skin tone and we colour in this band so that we've surrounded that shirt in colour, we will see that not look purple anymore, but start to look white. All right, so we want our skin tones. Oh my goodness, it's that long since I've coloured it. Like, where's the skin tone colours I use? Right. I'm really sorry, I don't know what's happening with the picture, Alison. It's something I'd have to go in and sort of start fiddling with the settings with, so I'm not quite sure what I can do about that right this second, but once I finish the live I will have a look. So sorry if it is a bit blurry. Right, so I am going to just need a darker shade. If it's just changed, has it been blurry the whole time, Alison, or is it just blurry now? Because it was just blurry now. I've not actually changed. Everything's sort of all set. So it shouldn't, I don't know. Okay, so we're putting in the darker colours of this. In her face, I'm trying not to do perfection here because I'm just realising that I'm not actually finishing this. I'm just I'm just trying to illustrate that once you get other colours in, that shirt will stop looking lilac. If it's changed over time, it's going to be something to do with your with the internet as opposed to my setup, unfortunately, because it's set and it's not set on, what do you call it? It's not set on autofocus. It's definitely just set. So I'm not sure why that is. As I said, it's more likely something to do with internet and how that is coming across over that. But I will definitely have a look. The program that I use gives me feedback on you know, like the pixels per second and all of that nonsense. So I can have a look at that. So if there was an issue, I should hopefully be able to look at it for future reference. But thank you for letting me know. Right, so I'm just going to colour in her. So we've coloured in the skin. Right. And then let's just colour in this blue bit at the bottom. Okay, so let's get this in. This is a bit of a sticky marker, so we're not going to get the best blend in the world from this, but It's not what we're illustrating right now, so hopefully it'll be all right. I'll get that coloured in. I'm going to add the little bits there. And then gradually, the more you add detail, we've still not kind of shown it perfectly, but by the time you add the hair in and stuff, this is gradually going to look more white because everything else is coloured, if that makes sense. Whereas at the minute, your eye is still kind of going all over the place because there's direct white here and there's direct white there. But I coloured it with the exact same pens. On this one, it's the exact same pen. So once it's fully coloured up, that looks white. So that is a little bit on how to colour in white. Let's just very quickly put a card together. So I was going to put a Pasha here in the centre. I should have another heart. Lady Hook. I do love these characters. We need to play with these a bit more. Right. I feel like I've lost some of the hearts. I've only got one. Let's see if I have any in my... in here. Do I have any more big hearts? Got a red one. It's not quite what I was going for, but never mind. Another red one. Okay. Where's all my bits gone to this card? It's ridiculous. Don't know what I've done with it. Just as well I hadn't done this on TV. That would have been a disaster. I was already having a bad day that. There we go. So I will stick this down and then I'll show you the difference between the two. Okay, so we'll pop that there. And this one here. We will, and then this one in the middle, Pasha in the middle. It's like she's steering the ship. They're all looking out to sea, and she's the one steering the ship. Harmonies. Okay, and then we'll put some little. Let's get that tidied up. Why I feel the need to sing at certain points. It's not even sing, it's just a random noise. Okie dokie, so let's see what we've got here occurring. So I'll have that here. And half the pieces for this card have disappeared, but thankfully, because this is actually me using app demos that were planned, we have one I made earlier. Yay! Put one here, like so, and then do the squiggly border. Like so. I just love adding a border. It really does just seem to completely frame a card and draw the eye in and just make everything so much better. Okay. Okay, right. There we go. And the original one with sentiments is that one. Not hugely different. So I just had different coloured hearts, and then I've got a sentiment saying best mateys. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. As I said, next week, if you've been watching music videos on YouTube and heard the she excellent. What's it? Yeah, there's quite a few sea shanties, which are quite good, aren't they? Hopefully by next week I'll have changed my table covering so that we'll not have this eyesore to look at. And if we still have dragons in store, which I shouldn't be mentioning them on social media just yet. That's not meant to get a mention until Wednesday. Let's have a look at everything we've made. So we've made that one. And then we have this one. And then this one. So, thank you ever so much for joining me. As I said, next week will be dragons if there's some left. And yeah, I will see you all then. I will try and be in and around the group. I am watching. If I'm not about, it's just because I'm busy with a sick child. But I am about, and please do try. I know a few of you mentioned about the silhouette stamps and how you're seeing them all in a whole new light. I would absolutely love to see you pop in the group, take a normal stamp that you have and turn it into a silhouette somehow. I think it would be awesome to see. Right, guys, I am going to go grab a cup of tea, get my little girl to bed, and I will see you guys all later. Take care and goodbye.